if the opportunity to come to interview for a head coaching job or assistant head coach or coordinator, yeah, I'd most certainly consider it. I love the game. I still think I have something to contribute to it.
I remember last year, I think it was, you caught a lot of heat for answering quarterback when you were asked what the main difference between your Commanders teams and other teams in the division was. But you were totally right. Do you think but do you think that the Commanders have finally found that franchise quarterback that you were seeking
Absolutely.
in Jayden Daniels?
I really do believe that, Chris. And in all honesty, when I made that statement, I was being very, very sincere. This is a quarterback-driven league. We see it all throughout the league. The teams with the best records have the most complete quarterback. Either this guy is a prolific passer, or this is a guy that has some mobility and agility. That we're seeing with so many of these new young quarterbacks that come in playing these RPO styles of football. And Jayden Daniels is a great example of it. Another guy that's got a little bit of that too is Bo Nix. You watch the way Bo plays, and you see a lot of those elements of a prolific style passer, but at the same time, because he's very mobile and agile, the ability to run, and he's raised the play of the team around him as well. That to me is what a franchise style quarterback is, and that's a guy that raises the play of his teammates and raises the play of the other side of the ball, and that's the defense. Um, these guys are what you're looking for. I've been looking for one ever since the 2018 season when Cam Newton hurt his shoulder. I mean, it changed the landscape of football for me because as a head coach, when you have that guy, you're going to have success. Well, all through to 2017, we were very very successful because we had a franchise quarterback that was healthy. Unfortunately, Cam gets hurts his shoulder, and the next 2 years I'm with him in 18 and 19, he struggled because of injury. And when you're looking for that guy, that's the hardest thing to find in the NFL is that franchise quarterback, and there's so much emphasis put into it. Um, Here they went out, they did their work. They had the second pick, and they took Jayden Daniels with their pick, and I really do see the improvement in them because of the play of the young quarterback, and the last time we saw that was with RG3 when he was here and he was healthy and doing the things that he's capable of. They got him into the playoffs, and you saw those things. My first year we had a combination of quarterbacks that did it for us. With Alex Smith and Taylor Heineke, they helped get us into the playoffs my first season. But yet, we still didn't have one franchise guy, and we were looking for that the next few years.
You've been doing the media thing this year. How are you enjoying that? And what about getting back into coaching, whether it's at the coordinator level or maybe even college, as we've seen some former NFL coaches wade into this week?
Well, it's kind of interesting because doing games from the booth, for Westwood One and Sports USA radios has been really enlightening for me. It's given me an opportunity to watch a game from a different perspective, and that's high above, so you see all 22 at the same time. Secondly, working with the NFL Network, I've got the analytics, the stats. I've got the researchers that look at trends. I've seen trends. I've seen one of the big trends right now, and you see the league shifting back to running. And the thing to note here is 7 of the 10 top rushers and rushing teams in the NFL are all lined up to get into the playoffs. And the one thing that's interesting about those 7 of those 10 top teams as well have quarterbacks that contribute to the rushing totals of their offense, and they're all going to the playoffs as well. So you see that trend. You see that trend and how specific it is with teams that run the ball, teams that run the ball and have a quarterback to contribute to it, and how much success they're having. So that's just telling you that that's one of the new trends. One of the opposite trends you see on the defensive side is, and the reason why people run the ball more is defenses are now playing more what we call middle open defenses, cover 2 deep, 4 deep, trying to keep the ball in front of them, not allowing the receivers to get behind them like they have in the past. So you don't see as many explosive plays throwing it as you have in the past. But what you're seeing now also is because teams are playing only 6 or 7 defenders in the box, offenses have recognized it. Now they're handing the ball off, and now the runners are now having these big years. So those are some of the trends that you notice and you see based off of what's been happening on either side of the football.
Well, you
So
don't get a nickname like Analytical Ron without diving into the numbers, right?
right. And to answer your Chris, would I, would I consider getting back in the league? Yeah, I would. I most certainly would. I mean, if obviously if the opportunity to come to interview for a head coaching job or assistant head coach or coordinator, yeah, I'd most certainly consider it. I love the game. I still think I have something to contribute to it. What level? I'm not quite sure. I mean, who knows? Somebody knocks on my door like they did with Coach Belichick, I'd listen to as well. So I really do. I'm young. I'm 62. Coach Belichick 72. I still think I have several really good years of football left. I just feel like I have something to prove. Because to me, the last 3 years here in the DC area were tough. They were really hard years because I spent a lot of that time trying to find the franchise quarterback, and and we dealt with some issues that really weren't football oriented, that made it tough as well. So, but that's not neither here nor there anymore because where the Commanders are, they're in a very good place.
Yeah, and you mentioned yourself, 62 years young, still got a lot of football left. But as here at USA Today, we have our NFL coaches database, and we've tracked over the years that now NFL coaches on average are younger than any of the other major pro sports in North America, and it just keeps going down. So,
Right.
what is your read on that? Like, why do you think
Well,
it
I
keeps getting younger?
I think what's happened is it's about the flavor. It's about what everybody thinks the reason why people are being successful. And I think what you got to do is go back and track now on that database is who's having most of the success. Okay, and who are they? I mean, I can sit there and tell you the people that continue to be successful and have the same type of program as, you see Mike Tomlin, you see John Harbaugh, you see Andy Reid, you see these guys that have consistently been good. And it's one thing that you can also say is you tie it in, you say it's always been the play of their quarterbacks. Their quarterbacks have been very steady. Those are the things and those are the reasons. Sean McVay, I no longer consider a young guy because he's been a head coach for 8 years now, and his success has been been driven a lot's been driven through the fact that he has Matthew Stafford now. You look at Kyle Shanahan, and what's one of the things you point to? Kyle Shanahan's had the quarterback. Again, he's a tremendous coach. He's been in the league for a long time. You know what I'm saying? It's not like all of a sudden he's now on the stage. He's been on the stage a long time. So to me, he's an old soul type quarterback. So being coached. So you got to look at those things as well. It's not just about the primaries, but how long has they been doing this in the NFL? That I think is one of the things that people have to look at as well.
Absolutely. And then I don't know how much you pay attention to the Panthers still, but
Hmm.
they're not showing up in the win column just yet, but definitely some improvement over the last 3 weeks, month. What are you seeing in Carolina, and especially with the resurgence of Bryce Young?
Well, what I really like is who their head coach is, and that's Dave Canales. Dave's a longtime NFL guy as well. He's worked his way up through the ranks. But what I like what he's done is what he did this year. And he had to bench Bryce Young for the good of the team and for the good of Bryce. I think what it did was, they have a veteran quarterback in Andy Dalton. He went to Andy to give Andy an opportunity. But at the same time, Andy's been very receptive to mentoring. He's done a great job working with Bryce. And I think when he sat Bryce down, I know he talked to Bryce, and I know he told Bryce, "Hey, this isn't the end. This is a chance for you to take a breath, learn, look around, see what's happening, and grow a little bit." And he did. And to Bryce's credit, he didn't sulk. He didn't pout or anything. He got involved. He got behind his teammates. He cheerleaded, which is all part of it. Is being part of the team. Is hey, patting guys on the back, tell them they can do it, congratulate them when something good happened. And I think that really helped him with his relationship with his teammates. And the other thing I like too is that he prepared himself so that whenever the opportunity came, he'd be ready. And lo and behold, Andy Dalton had an accident, and Bryce had to come in and start. And he started and played well, and they won. And that was kudos to him because he was preparing himself, and he didn't, like I said, he didn't sulk. He showed some maturity and growth, and that was really important to his growth and development as a football player. So kudos to what's happened there. The other thing that's been really good for them, and it's the other trend too in the league, as I mentioned, is you start seeing the running backs step forward again. Well, Chuba Hubbard is one of the top rushers in the league. I think he's number 6 or 7. And because of his ability to run the ball, it's made their use of the play action much more viable, which has helped Bryce Young as well. So a lot of good things are going on right now in Carolina. And I think a lot of the credit does deserve to go to their head coach and Dave Canales.
Hey, sports fans, if you want to see more conversations with athletes and stars, check out these videos right here and be sure to subscribe for more from USA Today Sports.